Good morning, friends. Steve, the healer guy here. And we all want to have some perception of ourselves as doing something. This is the third month of the 13 months of the Mayan Year. And we just completed the month of challenge. And that, I think, completed on Thursday. And so now, beginning yesterday, I think this is Saturday, beginning yesterday is the month of service. So whatever that means to you and whatever it means to me, and if it means something, then we'll, there's a saying from neuro-linguistic programming, which I studied for a very long time. Nothing inherently has meaning, but what meaning you give it. And it took me a while to think about that, to see whether or not I agreed with that perception. And eventually I realized that, yeah, we give meaning to things. And that's how they get meaning. Okay, I didn't mean to spend quite so much time on random thoughts, but I am going to set up a healing field today. And I'm realizing that when I do as much work as I did in the dream world last night, I mean, I was just all over the place, and I don't know what I was involved in, but there were some interesting characters that I was working things out with. They weren't scary characters, but they were definitely alternative in their approach to life. You've got the mainstream, like the mainstream news, which is, basically kind of programmed information. And then you've got what's actually going on, which is, maybe programmed. Just don't know. I mean, it's this. Are we in 3D consciousness, or are we in 5D consciousness? Do we even really know what that means? Do we have some construct in our mind of what 5D is as opposed to 3D? Like, do we, where did we come up with these ideas about 3D, 5D, or did somebody else come up with them and then we bought into it? I just don't know. I know what I've personally experienced, and some people would question, my personal experience, because a fair amount of it has had to do with having conversations with other beings, apparently inside my own head. Which I would say, where else would you be able to have conversation with beings who aren't in form? Other than kind of inside your head. I mean, it must be telepathic, projection of words, or I don't know how it works. I just know that's been happening for me since I was a child, that I've just been having these beings kind of make suggestions to me how to handle situations I was in, and I just thought everybody had these friends. And probably everybody does, but maybe not everybody is as aware of them. Okay, so let's set up a healing field today. I think that more than likely, if I have the time to set up a healing field, and videotape it, I will, especially if I have a real challenging night. So last night was, again, a very challenging night. And so today, I woke up again, and I was grateful for that. And then I got up, I went upstairs, I went back downstairs, and I did about an hour of yogic breathing and pranayama, which I think is the term used for yogic postures, exercises. utilizing breath while you're doing the posture is a really wonderful thing. And I'm finding that the more I do it, and I haven't done it consistently like this since I was in chiropractic college, where I was very consistent with my yoga because it really helped me sleep at night and helped me integrate all the information, data that was coming into my head. The yoga was a great way to process through silence, to really digest the incoming data. It allowed me to digest it. And after the dream world last night, it was so chaotic, and there was a period of time where I think I must have been moving or something because it disturbed the cat, Bryn, the cat, and so she got up and kind of stepped on me, like, hey, chill out. And so I decided I needed to really I was going to be working with energy, so I just picked her up and took her into her special sauna room, the laundry room. It's very warm in there. They like it. So I took her in there, and then I went back to bed, and then I couldn't go to sleep for an hour. I was just like, I was kind of in the dream world, but not in the sleep world, so to speak. Just working with all these characters in my dream. And I finally did feel like I went back to sleep, but I stayed in that working with a lot of energy. And so it really helped me to integrate all that energy by doing the yoga breath work and then being really conscious of my breath while doing the pranayama. You can let me know if that's not actually a yoga term. Okay, so we're going to set up a healing field for the world and for you individually. So your healing work that you do for you, with you, helps to heal the world. So any work you do is a world healing bit of work because you're part of the world. So any aspect of the world that heals, it's like if your lungs have an infection and you feel really sick, your whole body feels really sick. So when your body heals the lungs, it's healing the whole body. For one thing, the whole body is very reliant on the lungs for its function, because the lungs bring in the oxygen, which is the source of energy, I think through the mitochondria or something, and the mitochondria uses oxygen to produce energy, ADP to ATP or ATP to ADP. It releases energy, and that's part of the energy that the body runs on, is manufactured by these mitochondria that are in, I think, almost every cell. And that's why we have energy, and there's a theory by this medical doctor, so it makes it more valid because she's a medical doctor. I don't know what it means, but anyway, she healed herself of stage 4 multiple sclerosis through diet. And her construct was that her mitochondria weren't getting fed, and so she had a very specific diet to feed her mitochondria, and through that diet brought herself out of multiple sclerosis. So you can just type it into the search thing, or if you use YouTube, which apparently you do because that's how we're connected, just type in mitochondria medical doctor multiple sclerosis or mitochondria multiples, and you'll get her site. And she does a TED talk about how she was in a wheelchair, and now she's riding a bicycle. So that was pretty good. All right. So how much time have I spent? 9:42. Okay, so I'll be able to tell people just, skip the first 10 minutes if you don't want to hear me yap. Just go straight to the healing field. Okay. State these things out loud as I state them out loud if you want to, but they're good things to state out loud. I connect with my deep self. I connect with my higher self. It's a yawning thing. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. I choose to release anything that is not useful to me now. And if you wish to have the seventh dimensional beings, the Hathors, assist you in your healing, then you can state, I choose to work with the Hathors. Okay, now that's just setting things up for yourself, and now we do the part of setting up the healing field. So I ask the Brotherhood of Light, please be present. Deva of Healing, please be present. Pan of Nature, please be present. The Sisterhood of Light, please be present. All of our helpers and guides, please be present. Saint Germain, please be present. Metatron, please be present. Kuan Yin, please be present. And I'm thinking you can say this. Every time I say it, you can say it if you want to. And just feel what it's like to call in these beings. I ask that Master Mo please be present. I ask that Master Kun Li please be present. I ask that the Christ consciousness please be present. I ask that the holders of space please be present. I ask that Sanat Kamara please be present. That Abrahamanad please be present. Alcazar please be present. The interdimensional being please be present. Thoth please be present. Ra please be present. Deep Self please be present. Higher Self please be present. And our soul group, soul ray group, please be present. And I ask that we be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And I invite all souls affected by this event to return to the event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. And I ask that those souls be placed in a field of protection while they do their work. And upon arrival at this event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event gently and easily, fully and completely on all levels and through all space and time. The field is set. So you, in watching this video, are aware that you're connected to this healing field that's been set. What you do in this healing field is up to you and your guides, your higher self, your deep self, your soul ray group, all your helpers and guides, all the beings that are assisting you to do this work for yourself in its effect on your world. So whatever work you do in this healing field has a very powerful effect on the world. This isn't to be fearful of it. It's best if we let go of fear. And today in the Mayan calendar, it's a day of the yellow warrior, which is about fearlessness. And it's not so much not having fear, it's about not letting the fear be in charge of what we choose to do. It's about feeling our connection with this higher realm. So when I set up a healing field, what it does is it opens up that your awareness of that healing field for you. I mean, it opens it up for me as well. And when we begin to feel this state, which you may experience it this way, I experience it this way, it's a very alive field. It has a pulse to it. And when this healing field is set up, I feel like I come into the pulse of the world. You know, that's about the pace of it. It may be different, but that's about the pace of it that I feel. It's almost like the earth has a heartbeat, and I'm aligning myself with the heartbeat of the earth. And that may be actually what's happening. I've never thought of it before this moment when I was feeling that pulse and decided to describe it, and it felt like a heartbeat to me. You know, it's like, yeah, this pulse of the earth could be thought of as a heartbeat. Okay, so the field is set up. So my suggestion is even though we went through the portal of time to an event that's of the highest good for us to release and integrate the energies of that event, at this time, we just go back on a soul level. So if you noticed, I invited all souls affected by the event to return to the event, to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. So those souls went back to the event, but those souls are all in bodies. To clear, this is my understanding, to clear an event that is an event of the earth, one needs to be in a body on earth. One needs to be a soul in a body on earth, and then the soul can go back and help to clear this event. They're clearing the event for themselves, but they're helping all the other souls to clear that event who are back at the event, clearing the event for themselves. Because this takes a little bit of time maybe to get, but we are one self. You know, we're individuations of one self. That's my take on I am that I am. I am that I am. You are that I am. All God's children. I don't believe in God, but that's okay. I have an experience of the oneness, which one could refer to as God. But to me, there's so many constructs about God that I've studied religion. It was one of my interests in college, was religious studies, and I've studied them, and they were all fascinating to me. But the whole thing about this, I'm just going to go right into it for a moment. As I was taught in the religion of my parents' choice, God created everything. God knows the past, present, and future. So my question was to my father was, well, why, if God created everything, this God, your God, created everything, and created all this dysfunction, why would you trust a being like that? And I asked him many more questions. That was just kind of like, why would you trust this being? And my dad said, it's a mystery. And I thought it was a great answer. It's a mystery that you would trust this being. So I don't trust this being. I don't trust this construct that people have made up, that there's this God consciousness, the Father, God, whatever, and that God creates reality. It's like, look, the construct, it's a construct, but it may actually exist. And if it's a construct, it does exist for those of us who give it meaning. But if there's just this oneness and everything's one, then you are just one of one. You're just an individuation of one consciousness doing your individuation thing, but when we're connected to that consciousness, the things we do tend to represent a higher consciousness. And when you connect to this higher world of conscious beings, they can be very helpful if one of your purposes in this earth is to become a higher consciousness being, or just acknowledge yourself as a higher consciousness being in a body during this possible major transition time on a planet. Okay, that was just words coming through. I'll listen to them later. I'll go, oh, that was really useful. Because there's just words coming through. We're just flowing with it. We're connected to our deep self and maybe feeling that deep peace of the deep self. And we may be feeling high from being connected to the higher self, It's like, whoa. We could be feeling a lot of different things, but now we're just going to work with these energies of this event until we've released and integrated all energies of that event. So you may have paused already, but you can pause now and come back to this when you feel like the event is clear for you. Then come back and we'll do the final portion of this healing field. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. So to complete the healing field, I will just ask the interdimensional being, Thoth and Ra, the deep self, the higher self, and our soul ray group to assist all the souls that return to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that combined soul back into their self with all of its wisdom, power, and clarity. And sometimes when our combined soul comes back, it's bigger and we feel like, whoa, we're not quite big enough. But energetically, we just need to expand a little bit to be big enough for that part of ourselves that comes back. It's just a bigger part of ourselves. And it's very functional. It's not not the other aspect of ourselves that sometimes feels dysfunctional. So I ask all those souls to ground themselves to the healing center of the earth. You just kind of feel yourself go whoop into that healing center of the earth. And then we're going to open up a portal for the delivery of the new energies that we've agreed to bring into the earth at this time. You may feel that portal opening up. It's pretty energized, but it's a portal to bring in energies. So I ask the interdimensional being, Thoth and Ra, the deep self, the higher self, and our soul ray group to bring those new energies in now. And I could talk while this energy's coming in. There's a really nice energy coming in. Hopefully for you too. Okay, and then that energy goes all the way into this healing center of the earth. And then we ask that energy be activated. And then it's activated from the core all the way out. That energy expands out into the healing field and beyond. that energy interacts with the universe, comes from the universe, it goes back to the universe. Okay, and then I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. So that's the healing field for today. I'm just going to look. It looks like it's 25 minutes that we've been on. So I'll just put in the, I mean, you're hearing this at the end, but I'm just talking to myself. I'll just put it in the description that people can just start at 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes they can watch or not watch. Okay, that's the healing field for today. May it serve the world well. And this is the month 3 of the Mayan calendar, the electric moon of service. So here we are serving. Okay, good to serve with you, and namaste.